welcome to another Fix It Friday. Now, a couple of weeks ago I put out there a little note on Facebook saying, is there any questions that anybody wants to ask me, or is there anything that's troubling their game, or videos that they'd like to see more about. And one of the ones that came back was putting. So I thought, well, I'll do one on Fix It Friday, and just discuss to you. I won't do everything. I think what we can do is maybe do a few of them to build it up nice and slowly, maybe 3 or 4 of them. But I just thought I'd express a couple of things that could really help make your putting better, okay, or improve you quite immensely. And there'll be things that you've probably never heard of before, and today will be one of those things as well. But it was a real aha moment for me. My putting's never been my strongest part of my game. The swing was always my strongest part. That's probably why I'm coaching rather than playing on the PGA Tour and so on. But putting is a really important, vital part of your game, and being able to get the ball into the hole, is just as important as hitting 300-yard drives down the middle of the fairway. It's funny how a short putt can count just as much as a long drive. So it's really important that you spend time practice. Now I'm very lucky at home. I have a putting green that I can do this on. Don't do it as much as I should do, but it's a place that you can do. But you can go anywhere and practice. You can practice even in your front room or your living room, where you can. Many years ago, I used to put down just a mug, and used to just putt on the carpet into the mug, and set myself challenges as well. So, but it's really important. There's a few basic factors that need to be correct, and they're very simple. And a lot of it runs into the long game as well. So not just putting, but also into long game. So obviously, club face control is very, very important, and obviously path. The club face wants to be pointing on the right line, not to the hole, but on the right path that you want to send it on. So if there's a slight break right to left, you want to aim the putter face to the right hand side. It's got to be nice and square, and you've got to be able to see the line. And we'll do a bit more about seeing the lines and reading greens and so on. But it's really important that you have to become a bit of an artist to a certain degree. Yes, there's other methods out there as well called aim point and so on. I still use the old-fashioned plumb bobbin, which I can try to do a video on that for you, because it's not an art that's used as much as it used to be, but I still use it because I've used it for most of my life. But it's finding something that works for you, and that's the real secret to all this. It's not just being dictated to that's how you've got to do it, and this, that, and the other, and it's finding a method that works for you. There's been some weird and wonderful, bizarre methods out there that pros have used on the tour, and copy them, use them, try them out. Pros are always tinkering. They're always trying to find that magic sauce that's going to help them to become world beaters. And it's important that you do the same thing. Find something that suits you. All right, but there is a few basics that still need to be introduced in order to improve you and to give you the right chance and opportunity to improve. As I say, there's a lot of elements in putting, whether it's chipping, putting, pitching, whatever. There's a lot of elements that all reminisce into the full swing as well. So it's important that you understand that. And actually doing a lot of practice with this thing can actually help improve your golf swing as well, because a lot of the philosophies are still similar that we use, and it's important that you practice these. All right. Now, what I want to teach you today, the title gives it away a bit really, but it's finding what we call your directional control finger. Okay, it can be either this one or this one. Okay, you've got to find the one that's going to help you with your directional control. All right, and this is something that's new that's come out, but it really helps with your peripheral vision. Peripheral vision is really key when putting, because it's all about, you see the line, you're going to send the ball on that line, and that should hopefully then curve and go into the hole or get close. All right, but finding peripheral vision or your directional control finger is really important. All right. Now, how do you do that? Now, generally, if you're a right-handed golfer, you're going to be firing off this way. All right, so I'm firing off this way. And one of the key things that you can do is you can have a friend stand to the side of you, and they can put their hand out at different points. Okay, they can have it up here, there, wherever. Okay, and what you have to do is use your finger and look straight forward. Okay, so I'm looking straight forward like so, and I'll use this hand first. And if they put their hand out there, I have to, as best as I possibly can, point to where their hand is. All right. Now your friend will be able to give you feedback to say whether or not you was anywhere near. All right. And this will show you how good your peripheral vision is. Don't look at them and obviously do it because that's easy. but look forward, okay, straight ahead, and just point. So if they point low, I point low. And what you'll see is whether or not your finger is off point. So if I'm standing here, like so, okay, and I think I'm square onto the camera, and I'm going to point towards the camera, okay, now I can see, as I look to the side there, I'm pointing to the right of the camera as I look at it, or to the left of you, okay, so this isn't my directional control finger. Now you can do exactly the same thing with your right hand as well, okay, so you can stand to the side, your friend's here, and then you can use your right finger to point up high, low, wherever it is, okay, and you can do the same thing this side, and stand nice and straight and point, okay. Now this one's pointing more directly at you, all right. That doesn't mean that if you're right-handed, because I am right-handed obviously, if you're right-handed it's always going to be your right hand. It can be your left hand. It depends on each individual, all right. So for me, I've done this already. My right hand, or my right finger, is my directional control finger, okay. I can use this to accurately point the club head towards the target. Now, many years ago, gosh, there's some people out there now who don't even know it existed, was Certified Malaska. There was a lot of great golfers in the 60s, 70s, 80s who used to have and used to play with a directional control finger in their putting stroke. So when you putt, you can see you've either got this finger, your directional control finger, in your left hand sticking out and pointing over and laying on top of the right hand fingers, okay, or we used to see a lot of the time people with their right finger extended down. Seve used to be one of these. I remember watching him at Wentworth on the putting green. You know, he used to be a magician on the green, but he used to putt with his finger and point it to the hole almost, okay, and that was his way of getting it, or point it to his line, and that was his way of putting. And we've sort of forgotten that to a certain degree, and it became very much about making the hands a unit and trying to get the wrists to not be in play and so forth. But we've forgotten about the directional control finger, and it was there for a reason. All right, so it's very, very important that you practice that. So I've discovered that mine is my right hand, okay, and that's very, very key and very vital. Now, when I'm standing to this sort of putt here, now I'll probably miss it now because this would be the embarrassing bit, but my right hand palm is matching and mirroring. I like this grip. I was going to change it to a big fat one. There's one called Fat Cat, which is, I can basically feel it in my palm, and I can feel the side of the grip is actually matching up with the putter face, but my finger is pointing, extending down the grip. And I also have my left finger down there, but it sits more to the side. It's just because I've always done it that way, but my right finger is more of my accuracy finger, if you want to call it that, okay, my directional control finger. And it's just a case of I can see in the corner of my eye, even though I'm 6 foot away from the hole, I can see the hole in my peripheral vision, okay, and I can just try and point the putter head towards my hole, okay, and it's just going to help me to just be a bit more accurate with my line, okay, and that's really important. It's vital that you practice this, okay, and just get a feeling of that finger, okay, and we're just going to point it towards my hole or my line, back and through. Oh, I missed, it broke on me. But it's just important that you practice this as much as you can. You can practice this as well at not even putting to a hole, just practice to a tee peg or something like that, but just to get a feeling of that directional control. When you're practicing back and through, you can just, I hit that a bit hard and roll back, but just give you the feeling. So you've got to learn to use your directional control finger. You would never have heard of it, but it's really, really important that you find that first, because then you can't move on to finding the right line until you've got directional control, all right? So it's important. So practice that, okay? If it's your left hand, it doesn't matter how you hold the club either. I mean, you can be saw grip, that finger still pointing to where I want the putter head to go, okay. I can use the finger down the side. We see pencil grips. Well, again, I'm pointing the finger to where I want the ball to go. You know, it doesn't matter how you do it. Even left below the right, I can still use that finger on the side to point it to where I want it to go. It's vital that you find that finger, okay? It sounds crazy, it sounds bizarre, but try that test at home. Stand in front and stand to the side and use that finger to point towards your target. Well, again, I'm pointing way off, okay? I'm nowhere near you. I should be there, okay? I think that's right. Whereas this one here, I can pretty much point at you guys every single time. So it's very, very important that you practice that. It's something that you should learn to do first. And if you're having trouble with seeing the line or alignment, this is something that you need to work on, okay? Because peripheral vision is very, very important. You can be up to 20 feet away and still see something in your peripheral vision, okay? So practice that, work on that, and I promise you that would be a real good stepping stone and a real aha moment when you stand on the green and you do something like this, the test. You'll be amazed at how accurate you can, how inaccurate you are with one of your hands. All right. So hopefully that helps you. I know it's a short one, but I want to add in, about the stroke next time, how the hands work and the wrists work, because they do work a little bit in the swing, and also about setup and so on. I want to do the boring stuff sort of separate, really, but I wanted to highlight this first because it needed to have its own video and its own voice before we actually concentrated on doing the other bits and the mechanics. All right. Okay, and then finding your line is very important, and how we stand to the ball. That again will have its own separate video that I'll do for you guys in the run-up to this season, all right, or to the end of the season. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Hopefully I'll catch you next week. Please remember to follow me and pass this on as well. I keep saying it, but I will have some exciting news. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning having a conference call with this guy in America. And we'll have a great partnership coming up, and yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to really boost me, and hopefully it will help you guys as well, because you're going to really benefit from it more than it's a win-win for everybody. But you're going to benefit from it because you're going to get some great content from me. You're going to get some great advice and some great opportunities coming up as well. So please stay tuned. I can't announce it yet because I haven't got all the tools, but I'll be able to announce it possibly beginning of next week. But yeah, super excited and can't wait to start that journey. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.